Alright, how's it all going? So, we've got some information using the rhythm stick. Just imagine this is the butt end of the club. So this part here is the end of the grip, right? And this is going towards, this is the club. So you're gripping the grip in your hands. You want a good Varden grip in your fingers. Suitcase in the fingers of the right hand and the two Varden V's going up on the 45 angle. Now, well before TrackMan and all the advances in modern technology, Ben Hogan discovered, along with all the other greats of the day, that there was a force within the club, the lever, that could be used to great effect and multiply your force within your golf swing using your hands and arms. Now, the modern game has tried to go away from that and use body rotation to square the club face. But Hogan's method and logic for this was that the club, and so this is the top of the grip and this is the bottom of the grip here, and watch where this is. So if the top of the grip becomes a fulcrum point, then the lever gets maximum efficiency. So if this is halfway back on the backswing and this is halfway back on the full swing, obviously this would be a pendulum. Now the pendulum in Hogan's diagrams, that in the book he shows 3 planes, and he also shows elliptical diagrams of a 90 and a 45-degree circle. And here's the key: everything is a circle and everything is out in front of you at the same time as being linear. So not only do you have your pendulum motion going like this, but you actually have your pendulum motion going like this. Back halfway, through halfway. So you have it out in front of you going out to in and crossing over, as well as the same time going this way. So if you are working on your swing in your hands and your arms, this halfway position on this side and the halfway position on this side, hence Hogan's arms were probably the closest together arms of any tour player ever, as Hogan was the best at doing this. So he could get from there to there and match up his body rotation. Now, his body rotation and his thoughts on this were well guarded. But if you look at Mike Austin did the same thing. Mike Austin effortlessly moved that golf ball 380 yards at times. And what he could do was get his body open, but at the exact same time as getting his body open, he could do that at the exact moment. Now watch, if you do this correctly, the butt end stays vertically in the middle. Or if you're watching it this way, it's not a, it's a, from here it's a, and from out in front of you it's a, So once you know that the club is not only becoming a pendulum, but also it's rotating on its axis out here. So you are able to use your hands and arms to match up with your body and be in control, magically almost, with the club face. The club face mirrors your hands, both of them. So now you are this hand here and this hand here, the palms are controlling the club face. So you can have immense leverage and extra speed through the ball. Basically, it's a kind of almost missing link, because people in the modern game are trying to take that out, thinking that it begins to give too many variables, but it doesn't. If you match that up, and the match has to be at the same speed, but once you've worked that out, then you'll either hit a dead straight shot or you'll hit a slight draw. There's a different technique for hitting a cut. The cut is done by holding the motion on the 45, right? Therefore you'll not have the same this going on, you'll have that going on, which is leaving the face, and you can shape the ball that way. So this is where you want to experiment when you're on the range by taking shots from halfway with the elbow in, like a la Hogan, through, and you hear the speed there. It's not even like a big swing. So experiment on the range with 25 to 50 balls, getting the extreme, right? And you'll find it's actually very difficult doing this to overdo it, because you'll know where your target is and your hands will instinctively throw that club to the target. But you've got to go, first of all, you'll be hitting the target, and then from there you need to feel it going the other way. So you want to actually extreme try and hook the ball. Then you dial it back again, and then at some point you want to try and feel what it feels like to go the other way, which is slice the ball or fade it, and then you pull it back. So then you know that the impact point, you see how fast you can move that. There is no way, if you do not use this, your hands and arms, you can move that club as fast as the tour players are currently moving it, like Sir Rory, Tiger in the heyday. Body rotation will never get you there. You can't clear your body fast enough that your hands and arms can catch up. Hence, if you are not using this with your hands and arms, you're going to tend to leave the club face wide open and either push the ball, block it, or have a high cut fade, and then occasionally your alignment will get out of whack, and you'll double cross yourself, and you'll get like pull hooks, and eventually you'll be so frustrated with your game that you'll end up, yes, you guessed it, you'll be over the top. And the reason for that is that you're not actually aware that your hands and arms are actually, from waist high, really doing that. And I've yet to see any tour pro do that too quickly. I don't think you can. Reading into Hogan's and Henry Cotton books, they talk about the hands all the time. They devote hundreds of pages to the grip. It's the only point of contact on the club, and if you watch the modern tennis game and the tennis greats today, hands and arms and the motion that they have with the racket is very, very similar to like a top pro leverage on a golf club. So when people talk about the, I don't have an X here, I'll maybe draw this in on the thing, but the X factor, if you had an X there and the middle point is there, the fulcrum pivot point of that club really doesn't come off that middle point, and in that doing so gives you a huge, massive leverage. It may move slightly down around and then it will go up, but it is not moving off of this vertical line. That's your true power source in golf. And maybe over the years people have thought you'd be more accurate if you had less of that, but in actual fact you become less accurate if you have less of that, and you are not in control, true control of the golf ball. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. But more on this when we get to the course, doing some interesting stuff, and this will be a video dropping following up. But it's very interesting that we've got to this point and how we got there, because when Ben Hogan discovered this, he was talking about 1, 2, 3, you learn the golf swing. Some people need to go 3, 2, 1. But there really is only 3 steps to this. But how you learn it is very much how you as a person pick it up. Like I say, you might have to go 3, 2, 1 rather than what Hogan suggested, which was 1, 2, 3. More on this because it's important. Thanks for watching. Subscribing is great. It really does help the channel because everything's for ad revenue. The ad revenue is going to charity, Macmillan Help the Heroes and Shelter Scotland. I know I hammer this home, but that's the whole point of the channel, to raise money to give the ad revenue away to charity. So really, without you guys subscribing, that is not happening because we need to get over 1,000 subscribers. So don't know what you're waiting for. There's nothing in this. It's not costing you anything. It's discussions about golf, approaches about golf, learning about golf, from somewhere that a lot of pros never ever talk about or go there, because in their handbooks and in their teachings and stuff, there's certain things that they're told to be wary of discussing or teaching or giving away, because they're not secrets. But if you have this information, you can do a lot yourself with it rather than repeat business to lessons and coaching. I'm not saying you don't need to go and get lessons and coaching, because at some point you need to get this all checked, and you need to work on feel, timing, and basically the old scenario of just, once you've got this, the fundamentals, digging it out the dirt, which is basically the fine art of repeating, finding the ball on the right place of the club face and the right interaction with the turf. And that only comes from digging it out the dirt. Thousands of balls. There isn't really a shortcut for that part of the game. Thanks for watching.